What's up, everyone? Welcome to a very exciting, special hot takes video with myself and Jack.
That's right.
We are doing something a little different.
To Heresy.
Something a little different. We are the Art of War. We're normally here for your Warhammer 40,000 needs, but we're winding back the clocks, folks. We are taking a blast from the past, stepping back into the 31st millennium, and bringing you the Horus Heresy.
A real trip down memory lane if you're a fan, or if you've experienced 6th and 7th edition.
Yeah.
As we have. Siegs hasn't. Nick has.
Nah.
Then you will recognize Horus Heresy and you will be a little nostalgic.
Indeed. We have a box.
We have the biggest, chunkiest
boxes. This box was given to us early by none other than Games Workshop, who we have to give a massive thank you for. Jack, present the box. All right, so this is big.
That is a thick box.
This is...
all of it's filled with stuff.
Yeah.
There's no packing, space filler.
No. Have you ever had, a bag of Doritos, and, you open it up and you realize it's 50% air?
Yeah, it's real disappointing.
If you were to see a box of this size and it were to have half the miniatures, you would be disappointed.
You can feel it. It is hefty.
Yeah, this is like a two-hander. Let me see this thing.
You can't just one-hand this.
This is a big box.
I can, but you can't.
Okay. Well, we are going to open it. We're going to go through it. We're going to tell you what's in it. We're going to talk a little bit about the Horus Heresy and what we're planning at the Art of War.
That's right. Horus Heresy 2nd edition is coming out. Mm-hmm. They're revamping the rules. It is a completely different rule set to 40k.
Yes.
It has some of the same trappings. It won't be that hard to learn if you already know 9th edition 40k. Mm-hmm. But it is completely different. It's not the same, but with a coat of paint over it. It's a different game.
Yes.
It's a lot more similar to 6th and 7th edition, but they smoothed over a lot of the rough edges of those editions, and we're very excited to give it a shot.
Yes.
John and I personally are very excited to do it. We have petitioned to be the Horus Heresy guys, and we have made this happen.
So we're making it happen.
Very excited. Let's find out.
Do you need help with this big box? There you go.
What's in this big box?
We have a box.
All
right. So as always, it comes with the normal trappings of a box set. A couple pieces of paper that I'm sure matter.
It comes with this is what will happen in the future. This is what models you can
These have all been previewed by Warhammer community, so nothing crazy there.
Including the Kratos heavy assault tank that John has been losing his mind over.
Indeed.
It's not bad. It's a good tank.
It's not bad. The traditional red whippy sticks that come with old starter sets. If you're going to hit me with them, the answer's no.
Thank you. I don't know why you gave it to me, considering I am going to hit you with it.
Yep, we knew it was coming here.
If you've ever had the 6th or 7th edition starter sets, you know the whippy sticks. They're standard. We've whipped each other with them before.
And finally...
what are these? If you've only played 8th and 9th edition...
yeah.
Well, if you've ever wondered why some weapons are D3 blast and some weapons are D6, this is why. They used to be small blast and big blast and large blast.
And templates.
And small blast across the board turned into D3 shots, and large blast turned into D6. That's how we got where we are now. All right.
And then there's models.
And then there are just an absolute handful.
What an elegant way to do it.
Oh, I couldn't do more. There were more in the box, too, when I pulled it out.
Yep.
There's just sprues.
This thing is loaded.
The value is off the charts, honestly.
Yeah, for the, this is, I think, the largest box that they've ever made. Maybe there's, an Apocalypse, first company kind of box set, but, for, a starter box or similar, I've never seen this many.
This thing has 10 Terminators, 40 Marines, a Land Raider, a Contemptor, and 2 characters. So the nice part about this box is that not only is it very splittable, right?
Yeah.
Because we split it pretty easily. I want that. I want that. All right, let's split the Terminators and the Marines down the middle.
Cool. We just got a Praetor. It just works.
It's very splittable, but it's also very, unlike a lot of the box sets where it's half Chaos, half Tau or something.
Yeah.
You can't really split. You can't really buy that and just have it yourself. This is great value if you buy it for just yourself.
Yeah. I'll just be honest here. If you're getting into Horus Heresy, you're going to buy this box set.
Yes. Whether you split it or not, you're buying this box set.
Yeah. 10 Terminators is insane value. There's no one who doesn't want to own a number of Tactical Marines just to make sure they've got it. Comes with the rulebook. A Plastic Land Raider Spartan. This is brand new. There's so
a lot of these are original sculpts.
I think almost all of it.
All of us all. There's one that isn't, and they still look.
And it's still good. Right. More Land Raider sprues.
We've got a Praetor. This is the one with the sword.
Yep. Who's painted as Imperial Fist in the art. He is. He will stay a loyalist. This one's gonna be mine. There's another Praetor with an axe. That
one is mine. Thank you very much.
There's Tactical Marines. I want to talk a little bit about what these Tactical Marine models actually look like. So there's 8 of this sprue right here. There's 8 of them. And it looks like the Marines, they're built a little bit different than your normal Tactical Marine.
Yep.
Like if you've bought a Tactical Marine before from Games Workshop, you know that it's like a pair of legs. It's a 2-part torso you put together, separate arms, shoulder pads, backpack, all of that.
Yep.
The torso and legs look like they're put together different in their monopose, but they're a little more dynamic than normal.
Yeah, it seems like they took a page out of the Primaris Marine box sets.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But the arms are still look like they're going to be very easy to make interchangeable. It's going to be very easy to customize the arms on these with like existing kits. The legs, I think you want to keep all of these legs and torsos together. But they look good. We haven't built any yet. We're waiting until after we did this video. So 8 of these makes 40 Tactical Marines.
That's a lot of Tactical Marines.
And this sprue is just 5 bolt guns and 5 chain bayonets.
Yep, chain bayonets, which have different rules. They reroll to wound.
You've got enough helmets for everyone. You've got enough shoulder pads for everyone. And then it also comes with 4 like tactical squad like upgrade sprues.
Yeah.
Which is all the options that you need to make a tactical squad do something cool. So you've got more bayonet options. You've got pistols and holsters. You've got helmet crests. You've got bald heads. You've got like Vox heads. You've got a plasma pistol. You've got a power sword. You've got a lightning claw, power fist, a Legion Vexilla, and a Nuncio Vox.
Yeah.
Everything you need in your
upgrades
tactical
that you can include on your unit are in here.
Make that Tactical Marine fancy. And like, seriously, there's just so many sprues.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we've got a Contemptor Dread sprue here. This is the body.
I'm so excited for this one.
Includes a missile launcher as part of it. Very excited. This one is mine.
That one is Jack's, but I'm excited for you. The other half of your Contemptor.
Right here. Look how pretty some of those weapon options are.
It's also...
Like, getting there. Look, I love the autocannon. Just a twin autocannon looks amazing. The multi-meltas slap now.
Yeah, and it looks like it's a lot more posable. You know, we remember the old monopose Contemptor. Literally, the legs and the body were an entire half. Like, the front half was the front half of the legs and the body, and the back half was the back half of the body and the legs. And it's one thing that just, like, does that. Yeah, that's the pose you get.
That's, if you want 3 of them, they're all going to be posed in the same way.
Yeah, not a problem here.
No, you can pose everything, and it's gonna be a lot more unique.
Yes,
we have all of these. Still more
tactical marines somehow. There's always more tactical marines. I mean, really.
Debut off the.
This is the only old sculpt. So this is the Cataphractii Terminators. Frankly, I'm okay with this because the Cataphractii Terminator sculpts were boss when they came out in Battle for Calth a couple years back.
Now.
They are still really good. I have a bunch of Cataphractii Terminators for my old Iron Warriors army. I think I need to go clean them up to see if they can be salvaged for this. But there's a lot there. And
then with Lightning Claws cleans up in combat in this game.
Yeah, no, there's a lot coming. We have both of the Legion books as well. We have the Traitor and the Loyal Legion book. We're going to spend some time talking about them. We're going to have tier lists coming up.
Some videos about them, tier lists. We're going to analyze the Legions, although we already have, before we even knew what their rules were, we already knew what we were going to be playing.
Yeah.
I was going to be playing Word Bearers, my first army. I'm going to be making a Word Bearers Horus Heresy Legion. And when Chaos Marines come out, boom, right there. We have a Word Bearers army, my first army ever, and I'm very excited to start it. And I love the lore, and the rules are just so much fun. They really are.
Yeah, the Horus Heresy rules for Word Bearers are really fun. I'm excited to get into that.
I had a lot of pleasure in telling John exactly what Galvor Back did. Over and over and over
It'll be fine.
Whereas, what are you looking at?
I'm probably going to be playing some White Scars. You know me. I love me some White Scars. Love playing them in 40k. I love the con. I hadn't fully settled yet, but like honestly, the White Scar rules are dope. And I do have Jagged Eye Con, the best Primarch.
Excuse you.
Just new in box, ready to go. I picked him up at GW Seattle. It's like, why not?
Yeah.
Why not play White Scars, right? Why not play my favorite Legion? Let's paint some white, get some red in there.
I'm looking forward to building Lorger, looking forward to building Galvor Back, Ashen Circle, all of my Let me see. I have Corfarin. I have Argyle Tall ready to go.
All these named characters.
All these named characters.
Yeah, you don't need those.
Argyle Tall looks so cool.
Yeah. But of course, we have the rulebook, the actual rulebook for Heresy. So hold on. I'm going to put these sprues back in.
There's actually something I noticed is...
Oh yeah, there's bases and dice in a display sheet.
Bases, dice, things you can put in there.
Come on. I want to see them.
Including...
all these tiny white dice. Oh, a scatter dice!
A scatter die. If you don't know what that is... Oh boy.
It's been a while. Alright. I'm going to hand this to you to sit on the ground. Let's keep that reference sheet out. I actually want to look at that.
Yeah, the reference sheet's actually really useful. It looks like they've prioritized the rules that have changed. Yes. Or that are different between Horus Heresy and 9th.
Yeah.
So, we'll go over them in a bit, but it really makes...
And of course it comes with two of these, which makes sense, because this is theoretically a box set to split. Although, I think a lot of hobbyists are just going to get it together.
I also think we're probably going to...
we're probably going to split one ourselves.
But
it's alright, we'll get there.
So here you go. And then also, so not only is there a whole ton of rules in here,
yep,
but there's also a lot of gorgeous art and
World Leaders is what you chose? World Leaders?
I flipped randomly.
Look at
that art, though.
There's a lot in there. Oh, that's a good piece.
Like, look at that.
I can see being a Blood Angel guy.
There's lore. Yeah, I mean, I'm known as the Blood Angel, as a Blood Angel guy. There's Night Lords, Primogenitor, their cognomen, which is like the Knight's Children or the Terror. Observe strategic tendencies, punitive actions, decimation, forced pacification.
Yeah.
Noteworthy domains, allegiance.
It's got all this good stuff.
Here's White Scars for the John-related fellas.
Yes.
But it is a nice coffee table book, even if you don't use the rules.
Yeah. It's like all the other rulebooks that you've seen from Games Workshop, where it's got the first section is all the lore. It goes through it. It breaks down all 18 legions in detail, and then it also goes through the Solar Auxilia, the Custodes, the Mechanicum, and some of the legions of the Rune Storm as well, which is the demons.
Oh, absolutely.
And then, of course, it's got rules. It's got like the model section. It is a full-fledged rulebook. If you've bought a big, solid rulebook from Games Workshop before, it is similar to them all.
There's some beautiful armies on display. There's the Raven Guard.
Look at that. As always, they've got all the beautiful stuff. Heresy is just a good-looking game.
A very pretty Solar Auxilia army in here.
This is like my stretch goal. If like we're going well and I'm like, I've got the White Scars going, I'm excited. I'm like, what if I want more? Might be Solar Auxilia.
I might do some demons, honestly.
Well, I mean, that's just a good thing to have.
Because there's like to summon demons onto the battlefield.
Despicable, truly.
You what, mate?
Despicable.
You what?
All right, let's dive into it. Let's talk about some of these rules. Let's kind of talk about some of the things that I'm actually going to use the reference guide as like an order of operations for what we should talk about. So if you've played a Games Workshop game, you'll understand the basic mechanics of Horus Heresy.
Yes.
Your models move around the table with a move characteristic. They shoot, they use a weapon skill and ballistic skill to determine how well they hit. You try to wound your opponent by comparing strength and toughness. They have a wounds characteristic. If you fail a save, you lose a wound. There are some differences. This is not 9th edition.
That is where the similarities end.
That is about it. But the very basic, this is a Games Workshop game is still there.
Yes.
You wouldn't read this and think it was Privateer Press. We know who this is.
Yes.
But if you've played 7th edition, a lot of memories are about to come back.
Yes, they have smoothed over a lot of the things that are a problem with 7th and 6th edition.
Yep.
For example, invisibility is not a psychic power.
Yep.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah, we're back to 3 phases, by the way.
Yeah, just movement, shooting.
Yeah, there's 5 steps in a turn. There's start of the turn, movement phase, shooting phase, assault phase, end of active player's turn. That's it.
We're done.
Yep. Start of the turn, 1, 2, 3, end of turn. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what you do. No psychic phase, no command phase, no morale phase, no charge phase. Wow, we really have 7 phases in 9th edition?
It's crazy, right?
I mean, I skip half of them, but
yeah,
fair enough. Yeah. Okay, let's do it. So, I think we start literally. I mean, where do we start? Let's talk about something new and exciting. So let's talk about reactions.
Yeah.
Right. So if you play 9th edition, you know what stratagems are, obviously. But let's say that you don't want to use those because we're playing Horus Heresy, not 9th edition. There's no command points here. You don't take multiple detachments. You basically have one detachment, which is a Crusade detachment. And you don't get command points. You just get reactions. Yes. And reactions are a rule that every army has access to. Everyone gets it. And there's a number of core reactions in a book. And you get to make, is it one reaction per phase?
It is one reaction per phase, although almost every warlord trait, and you only get one warlord trait, this is back to 7th edition or whatnot.
Yep.
Your warlord generally gives you an extra reaction in a particular phase.
Yeah.
So these are like your stratagems, but there's no CP.
Yeah, there's no CP. You just get this. So there's a number of reactions in the movement phase, and then in the shooting phase, the assault phase, because they're the only 3 phases you have. There's it looks like there's 6 core reactions.
Yep, and 2 in each phase.
Yep, and then each army has its own unique reaction, and that'll tell you about that in your army rules.
Yeah, so each chapter or legion looks like they get their own special super powerful one.
Yeah,
that they can do once time.
A game. Yeah, and we haven't seen rules for anything besides legion, so we don't know if there will be a Solar Auxilia reaction. I imagine a Custodes reaction would be bonkers, but we'll kind of have to wait to find out what that would look like.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Can't be bad.
It really can't.
Really can't. So, reaction to the movement phase. Basically, you, the reactive player, so the person usually whose turn it is not, gets to make a reaction if an enemy ends a move within 12 inches and line of sight of one of your units. Then you can do one of 2 reactions, which is advance or withdraw. Advance is you move a number of inches up to its unmodified initiative.
What is that?
Initiative characteristic.
I'm a player who's only played in 8th and 9th edition. What is an initiative?
All right, well, we'll explain that in a second, but you move your initiative directly towards the enemy. Or if you want to withdraw, you move your initiative directly away from the enemy. So you can just move in your opponent's turn. But only one unit, you can only do this reaction once per phase. So only one unit can do it. And an initiative is usually not as good as move value.
No, generally not. Although for some units, it just is. Initiative is more important than it was in 6th and 7th. If you remember back then, 6th and 7th initiative was literally just what order did you fight in? And then occasionally there would be like 2 things that mattered for it in the game at any point in time.
So if you have initiative 4, you fight before initiative 3.
That's
if
it.
You're initiative 7, you would fight before initiative 6 down the line.
If you charge, doesn't matter. None of that matters.
No.
The other thing is that now initiative generally controls how good you are at reactions or some things of that nature.
A lot of things will reference initiative at this point. Being a high initiative unit is important.
Which is good because it was kind of one of the least important stats in 6th and 7th. Now it's really gotten woven into more rules.
Yeah, and a standard initiative is 4. Like a Space Marine is initiative 4. If you're initiative 5, that's pretty good. That's usually like a character or a really good unit. Initiative 6 and up is like this is special.
Yeah,
initiative 6 is important.
Fast.
Like this is.
We're talking like Primarchs or whatnot.
Like a Slaneshi demon would be like initiative 6, and they're like, okay, that's fast. Let's talk about movement as well and what it means. So movement. So by the way, this is played on a 6x4.
Yes.
We are not on a 9th edition board, the old-fashioned 6x4. So luckily, we still have 6x4 mats that we just kind of put like an outline around. So we're gonna have to figure out what we're doing with that.
Yeah.
But movement characteristics are a little bit higher than you may remember. A Space Marine moves 7.
Yep.
Terminators move 6. Like jump packs still move 12. Bikes move like 14. But movement is not just literally how far do you move, as you would expect it is. Movement also ties into more things. It gives you charge bonuses.
So if you move 5 to 7 inches, you don't get any bonus to your charge distance. So a basic Marine gets +0 to its charge. Whatever. That's fine.
Okay.
That's all right.
Seems normal, yeah.
But if you move 8 to 10 inches, you get +1 to your charge.
Okay.
All right. Which is considering you have to get into base contact with your opponent.
That's true.
To charge.
Charge is still a 2d6 roll, much like 40k
There's
and
not usually a reroll to it. Don't mess it up. That's all I'm saying.
It is hard to do that.
If you move 11 to 12, you get +2, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And if you move 13 or more, you get +3.
So like not only if you move 13 inches do you get to move faster than people, you also just charge so much better.
Yeah.
And again, you don't want to fail charges.
Yeah, fast assault units now get to move quickly and then get that bonus on the charges.
And also think that like your opponent could use a reaction to move like their initiative characteristic away from you. So if you just run up like a group of idiots with chainswords, you just run them up, they're like, I'm going to charge you. They're like, I'm going to move 4 inches further back. Now go ahead and roll that charge. You have no modifiers, no rerolls. Like, I don't. That's not what I'm happy about.
No, for sure. So that makes a huge difference. The fast get faster, and the slow stay slower.
Yeah, speed is important. Speed kills. Speed is really important here.
Says the guy playing White Scars. So that is a very interesting change as well. Fast assault units are fast now.
Yeah, seriously.
Psychic powers changed quite a bit. Every psyker that has access to a psychic tree gets a power and a psychic weapon. And the psychic weapon is just a weapon that they have that you have to take a psychic test in order to activate. Psychic test, you roll 2d6, equal to or under your leadership. It activates and you can use the weapon, whether it's like a super flamer that you use with your mind, whether it's the pyromancers is you literally detonate an explosion in combat around yourself. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Honestly, the psychic phase here feels more like 5th and 6th edition than 7th.
There isn't actually a psychic phase.
Well, that's true.
That's the thing.
Your psychic abilities, psychers, feel more like 6th edition.
Absolutely. Your psychic, your powers that you get, the special powers and whatnot, generally do a fairly mediocre thing. But if you want to supercharge it and do a cool thing, you have to take a psychic check. And if you fail it, then you, A, don't get anything, and B, take perils and take some wounds. And it's D3 wounds, so you can take an invuln. Invulns are way rarer in this game.
Yes.
And wounds are not as
You don't have as many wounds as you think.
Do not have as many wounds as before. Marines are 1 wound, as are most things, and a good character is like 3.
Yeah. It's actually pretty scary.
Oh,
You do not want to take that perils.
Guns are not as threatening as they were before.
No,
because even though everything's 1 wound and characters are like 3 wounds, nothing has a damage value.
No, damage doesn't exist. Instant death exists.
Instant death exists.
Yeah, so if you think of like a molten melt, you're like, that's got to be damage 2, right? No,
that's damage 1.
There is no damage. Everything's damage 1.
If a wound goes through, it does 1 wound, no matter whether it's a las cannon, a multi-melter, or a las gun. But
if you perchance happen to have such a high strength that you are double your opponent's toughness, not only do you get the obvious benefit of like just wounding on 2s, although the wound chart is different in Horus Heresy than it is in 40k.
Yes.
Also, if you double this toughness of something that you're hitting and they fail to save, instant death happens. It's exactly what it sounds like. If you have any doubts about what instant death is, just say it out loud.
It does it.
You die instantly. It instantly dies you, and completely unalived. And feel no pains, by the way. I actually use the real name for it. Feel no pains here. You can't take feel no pains if you suffer instant death. You're just gone.
You're just gone.
Just gone. So
it makes a big difference, and toughness matters, especially for characters.
Yeah.
Toughness 5 is not just, ooh, I'm wounded on 5s by something strength 4. No. It means they need strength 10 to instinct.
And we should also mention that like the damage output in Heresy feels a little lower than Warhammer.
Which,
maybe a good thing.
I think it is.
But there's strength 10 is not just a thing you get on like random orc knobs. No. Strength 10 you do not see much.
It is like a volcano cannon.
That's like strength 10. Like to get strength 10 is, I'm trying to think like what even is a strength 10 weapon in 40k that's like less in 30k. But the point is when you look
like
through
a demolisher cannon.
Yeah, they're not strength 10. It's like when you start scrolling through the different weapons, they're not as deadly. Just across the board. Multi-meltas, not 2 shots. They're heavy 1, but they're twin-linked. What does that even mean?
It means you reroll the hit.
Twin-linked weapons,
one of the only ways you get it.
All hits, because you do not have captains giving reroll hits anymore.
No.
Captains just like don't. They're just walking around with the sword like, you can use my leadership.
Yeah.
That's what they do. It's like,
join units. Thanks. Independent characters are back to being a thing.
Yeah. Oh, God. They really are.
They really are. Now, the wound chart is different than before. Now, it's... If you're less strength than them, it's 5s. If you're equal, it's 4s. If you're more, it's 3s. And if you're double or half, then it's 2s and 6s.
I didn't think that was true. I thought it was if
no, now in 9th edition.
Oh, in 9th edition.
In 9th edition.
Okay, yep.
In this is a real throwback. If they're 2 higher than you, you're winning them on 6s. If they're toughness 6, you're hitting with strength 4, you're winning them on 6s.
Yeah.
If you are toughness 4 and they're strength 6, and you're 2 lower, you're wounded on 2s. If they're 4 higher toughness than you, then your strength cannot hurt them.
Yeah, so strength 4 like bolt guns, do not roll to wound against toughness 8. Just stop. You don't do it.
Stop. Doesn't do anything.
Kind of miss that. Like, just like Land Raiders and like toughness 8
you
units
can
roll
still
up to
fire
bolt guns.
las guns at Land Raiders in this edition. It's just a massive waste of everyone's time.
Exactly. Like, let's just get that over with. I mean, you definitely can't wound a Land Raider now because you don't roll the wound.
Armor facing.
There's armor values.
So you know how vehicles can run around the battlefield 9th edition with the butt pointed directly towards your opponent.
Yeah, that's the thing. And it makes it frequently.
I know, John does it all the time. And it makes the battlefield look very unthematic. Well, now what direction your tank is facing matters a lot.
Yep.
So each side of the tank has a different armor value.
Yep.
And whichever one they're pointing towards is the one that they're hitting.
Yeah, no, that's a real thing.
And they don't have a toughness. They have an armor value of 10 to 14.
Mm-hmm.
And what you do is whenever you fire a shot at them, you take your strength, you roll a die, and you add it to your strength. And if you equal the armor value, you have glanced off, and you remove one of their usually 3 to 5 hull points. Mm-hmm. And if you roll above, you have penetrated the armor, and then you roll on a chart to see what kind of damage you've done to them. On a 1 to a 3, they fire snapshots. That means they only hit on 6s, can't fire blast or template weapons.
Yeah.
Yep.
Snapshots. We didn't even talk about that.
Heavy weapons make you fire snapshots now, not -1 to hit. No, you hit on 6s, my man.
Yeah. Snapshots are tough. Flyers, I think you have to snapshot against.
Yes, you have to snapshot against flyers. It means you also can't use blast or templates.
Yep, flyers are scary.
On a 4 on the vehicle damage, the vehicle cannot move and also fire snapshots.
Solid.
On a 5, a battle weapon is destroyed, which is
the good ones.
Yeah, one of the good ones, but the controlling player gets to choose.
Yeah, but you're not losing your pencil-mounted stormbolter to weapon destroy anymore.
You get to choose which of your las cannons or volcano cannons you're losing. 6 is immobilized, which means you don't move. You are stayed where you are. You're done moving.
Where you're at.
Unless somebody comes along and repairs you. Mm-hmm. And then a 7+ is explodes, and you throw out a gigantic strength 8 hit to everyone around you. That also causes a pinning check. There's 2 things in there. One, how do you roll a 7+?
You have to have some kind of a modifier.
Well, if you have a high AP weapon, you get bonuses to your roll on this.
Yeah, AP 1, pretty good. We haven't even explained how AP works.
We haven't even explained AP.
Oh my goodness.
And then pinning is you basically make a unit, they fail a leadership check. They just don't do anything until the start of the next turn.
They get to Snapfire, which is
fire snapshots
ballistic
on
skill
6s.
6. If you thought being orcs was bad, wait till your Space Marines are orcs that moved.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you're snapshotting. It is rough out there.
AP is also very different in the 31st Millennium.
Yes. So AP is no longer a modifier.
No.
You know how like if you hit a Space Marine with a good enough weapon, they don't get a save, but if you do something in between, they get a worse save?
They get like a 4-up or a 5-up or something.
None of that.
No. You either get a save or you do not. If you hit a Space Marine with a 3-up armor save with AP 4...
That is worse than AP 3.
That's worse than AP 3. If you hit it with AP 4, doesn't do anything.
Yeah, so a heavy bolter, they just take a 3-up save. They're wearing power armor, they get to take a power armor save.
But if you hit them with AP 3, well, now it is equal to or less than their armor value. Guess what? They get no save whatsoever.
No. 0 saves, none necessary. No
so
saving.
That's a big deal. And if you're AP 2, Terminators don't get saves against you. And let's be honest, that is not common.
No, AP2 is not very easy to get.
Even Plasma's AP4.
It's usually like rending that gets you to where like you need to roll like a 6 to wound and then you get AP2.
Yep. Plasma is generally like rending 4+, so on a 4+ to wound it's AP2. Otherwise, it's AP4.
Yeah, they've done the classic universal special rules. They are 100% back.
I kind of missed them because
I kind of did too.
Every 9th edition unit has a Manta Strike or Teleport Strike.
And it's all the same thing, but it's all subtly different. And occasionally
it matters, and it's really annoying when functionally a universal special rule just isn't one.
I'm trying to find the universal special rules.
We're right here.
We got it. There's so many things that I
There's
miss.
a lot. Fleshbane, reroll to wound. Always wounding on 2s in close combat.
Solid.
Except against vehicles and buildings. Feel no pain. Called Feel no pain now. Fear is an aura of minus leadership, which is really important in this game. Eternal Warrior, no instant death. Don't care.
They're good.
Yep.
That's like a Primarch rule right there.
It really is. It's not thrown around often. Eternal Warrior is very powerful in 6th and 7th.
Yeah, and it is very powerful here, and it is reserved for the biggest and most important of boys.
Counterattack. Chosen Warriors lets you accept or issue challenges with any model in the unit. Challenges.
challenges. We haven't talked about challenges. So not only can characters who are independent, aka not a squad sergeant, join a unit. So you can have your captain in Terminator armor or your praetor attached to a unit of Terminators with the Terminator sergeant. So now you have two characters in the squad. You have a sergeant who's a character, and then you have a praetor, which is like captain, who's an independent character. When you start a combat, either player can decide to issue a challenge, and that means one of their characters is like, I got this, and you either accept or decline the challenge. And if you accept, one of your characters steps in, and those two guys only hit each other.
Yep. Any damage that spills over does not. That's it.
If you're in the challenge, yes, but I think if you murder the entire squad around the character, that it'll then spill over to the character. I'd have to check.
But no, if you're in a challenge, if you're in a challenge and you're challenging out Angron.
Yeah, if Angron and a tactical marine sergeant fight each other, Angron will rip that tactical marine sergeant in half.
Yeah, but the rest of the squad is totally fine.
Yeah.
Well, except for Angron can issue and accept as many challenges as he wants.
This is true.
There are a lot of cool rules like that in Horus Heresy.
Mm-hmm.
Where, Angron gets a really cool, really weird rule. Maybe it's,
It's kind of dope, though.
It's super awesome. I love it. There's just a lot of...
There's a lot in here.
Hammer of Wrath, which we have as a stratagem now, but it used to be a universal
just a rule. You just do, hits on the charge equal to your strength.
Gets hot. Hit and run used to be massively important.
Yeah, because you don't get to fall back from combat.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that.
Now,
if you're in combat, you are...
Yeah, if you leave, you take an initiative test. If you pass it, you get to leave. If you don't, sucks to be you. You are staying.
I miss getting Tau in combat and just being like, I live here now.
You can't leave. That's not on the table.
Yeah,
we're here.
Yeah,
you're my friend.
There's no try pointing. You're just friends.
You just are in there. Yeah, a lot of things like that. Instant death. It will not die. Lance. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. Just basically returning. Relentless. You ignore the move and shoot penalty.
Which is a huge deal because infantry normally that just walk around are just like, I'm hitting on sixes with a heavy weapon. So a Devastator with a multi sounds good. Does not hit very well.
No, unless they plant their feet, stay still for a turn and shoot.
Yeah.
Split fire? Units can't split fire normally. They have to... One unit shoots one target.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you don't split your attacks. You just shoot your unit at a unit.
Yeah,
which is interesting because but also you don't have buried special weapons in Heresy. You're gonna have a unit of tactical marines. Everybody has a bolt gun. Move on. Or you could have a unit of special weapon marines. No sergeant with a bolt gun here. Everybody has a plasma gun, or everybody has a Volkite, or everybody has a melta gun. So shooting the same target is a big deal. But on vehicles, if you splitting fire, if you have it, helps a ton because you get to actually put your weapons in different places. Yeah,
absolutely. So there's a lot of special rules you can use, and they're honestly, I'm happy to see them back.
Absolutely. There's so much to do. So we've got a lot of content planned. Our plan is to put out a Horus Heresy video every single week because both of us are very excited about the Heresy. Yes. We're going to be doing tier lists. We're going to be going through the new books, which is the Loyal and the Traitor Legion books. We have both of them. We will be talking about them a lot. We're going to break down the legions inside. We're going to talk about what our favorites are.
Maybe a tier list or two?
Oh, I would say that there will be tier lists on Tuesdays. On Tuesdays of our favorite day for tier lists, of course.
That is. I mean, I've had so much fun looking through this that honestly, while we've been talking, I've just been stealthily looking through it again.
Yeah, I noticed you over there. There's a lot of new rules in here. If you've played 7th edition, this feels like they streamlined a lot of the bad parts of it and made it better. The worst part about 7th edition to me was some of the individual army rules and then psychic powers. But the core rules were fine. The psychic phase is so much easier. You just pass your spells.
There's no psychic phase.
Yeah, you just
auto pass them, and then if you want to amp them up,
then you take
or
the
some
test.
Really powerful ones, you have to take a psychic test in order to even.
But a lot of them you can just passively just be I'm just going to do this. This is now just an ability I'm issuing out.
Yeah, so that's really cool. Honestly, this feels more like 6th edition to me than 7th.
It does. 6th and 7th were kind of similar, but then
it's 8th and 9th.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, but this is so streamlined. This feels like they've taken a while to refine this. I played some Horus Heresy back a couple of years ago. I've been out of it for a few years. When 8th edition dropped, I switched over. My poor Iron Warriors sat in a drawer for many years. But it's time to come back. New edition, new Legion, new me. We're doing it.
I'm word bearing up. I'm going to possess my Marines with demons. I'm going to have Diabolists in my army. I'm going to do Warp Fire nonsense. I'm going to have Galvor back ripping John in half.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. I'm going to try and get Nick excited.
I would love to see Nick excited to play 7th edition Demons again. That'd be fun. So
I can only imagine the Warp Storm charge.
Oh, the Warp Storm charge. We'll see.
That would get his blood pumping.
Yeah, we don't even know what used to exist in I'm sorry, we don't even know what used to exist will make it over because we don't know what all the other armies do yet. We only know what the 18 Space Marine Legions do.
That's right.
GW has promised soon. They also dropped they released some images of a plastic Leviathan Dreadnought, which is sweet looking.
Excuse me?
So excited to get that one on the table.
And each of the legions look very distinct and very fun.
That is true. Yeah, they have really done a good job, and they did before, but they've done a really good job of making them feel distinct. I don't think any of them stand out immediately as too insane.
And all the ones I've looked at have been.
Everything is everyone has something interesting about them.
And a lot of depth to them.
Yes.
They all have their own special reaction. They all have their own special warlord traits.
They have their
orders
own
of
traits.
battle.
Yeah.
What are they called? Not orders of battle. They're
rights of war.
Rights of war.
Just how they build attachments.
How you build attachments.
We need to
they
talk
have
about
special
that.
Units. But we'll get to that when we get to the individual legions.
Absolutely. Really excited for that. So what we need then is, if you enjoy this video, if you're excited about Horus Heresy, please like, comment, share, subscribe, all of the good buzzwords. Yeah. Let us know. This is our first time branching out into another game besides the main Warhammer 40k, but we are passionate about the hobby here, and you know what? We're both really excited about Horus Heresy, so if you are as well, share it with your friends. Tell your friends who are excited about Heresy, hey, check this out. Let us know how you like it as well. Let us know what kind of Heresy content you want to see from us. We want to make more videos. Jack and I are both going to be working on building up armies, so we're going to be getting some games on. We're going to be doing all kinds of videos, reviews, tier lists, painting videos, hang out in hobbies, hang out in Heresy even.
Hang out in Heresy. Let us know if you're as excited about this as we are, and we'll note that, and we will put on more Heresy content.
Absolutely.
If the desire is there for Heresy,
we will give it to you.
The drive is here from us.
Absolutely.
We will do it.
All right. So thank you so much, everyone who watched this. Please, if you like this, maybe if you are interested in our Warhammer 40k content as well, check out our website, The Art of War War Room. We're going to send you out with a commercial for that. It's our global community where you can find everything you need to know about getting better at the game that you love and just finding some like-minded people. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll catch you next time.
Bye-bye.
There's so many rules in 40k, hundreds of events, and constant updates. Skip the learning curve of Warhammer and join the pros. Art of War is led by multiple world champions with decades of success. We teach clinics, stream games, and inspire you to succeed at your favorite hobby. Join our global community of gamers just like you.